This is a tutorial for Field Commander Rommel Deluxe by Danverson Games, a World War II solitaire game. Each campaign takes about 1 hour to play. I'll be following the order of information described in the Field Commander Rommel Deluxe Edition rulebook. You are playing the Axis side. The Allies are played by charts and die rolls specifically designed to perform actions as the Allies would. Each campaign has its own victory condition, which is noted on each campaign map. For example, in North Africa, you must hold the Cairo area to win. You hold an area if your forces are in that area at the end of a step. Areas with flags are objective areas. If there are no forces in an objective area, then it is considered held by the side whose flag is shown. A campaign ends when the victory condition is met or you run out of turns. Each campaign has a turn track. There are victory points in the top right corner of each turn. When you complete your victory condition, you score the victory points shown in the box for the current campaign turn. For example, if you hold Cairo, your winning condition, in the June to September 1941 turn, you earn 33 victory points. The faster you accomplish your campaign objectives, the more victory points you earn. Select a campaign map. All the campaigns are set up using the same rules. You just need to follow the setup information on each map. Each force counter has a national flag running down its edge. The Allies have Belgium, France, United States, and United Kingdom. The Axis has Germany and Italy. Each force counter has a full strength side and a reduced strength side. You can tell the reduced side by the red rectangle across the top. Check the setup section and find the starting forces for each side. Also, find the reinforcements. Each starting force will start in a designated area based on the setup instructions. Place each starting force into their starting area. Put the Allied reinforcements in an opaque cup. If a reinforcement cannot enter the campaign until a certain date, place the force to the side until you have arrived at that date on the turn track. The supply counters are your currency in the game. Collect the amount of supplies each side starts the campaign with and place them in the Axis and Allied supply section on the map. Find the 6 Allied operations counters and place them in an opaque cup. The setup section will tell you the number of forces the game starts with in the Allied operations box. Draw that number of forces from the reinforcement cup and place them in the Allied operations area of the map. Place the turn counter on the start square on the campaign turn track. Each side has its own set of battle plans. Find the plans used for the campaign you are playing. Place the Allied battle plans in a cup and the Axis battle plans in a pile to choose from later. Place all the upgrade counters in a cup. Force counters. Each force counter shows its flag and unit designation and the force type. A force will be either armored, motorized, or infantry. The numbers across the bottom show the attack value, the defense value, and the maximum movement value. Some forces also have a superscripted number next to their attack value. This indicates superior attack capability. You are the attacker if your forces enter an area occupied by an enemy force. To attack, each force will roll a die. All die rolls in the game are made with a single 6-sided die. If you roll your attack number or lower, you inflict 1 hit. If you have a superscripted number and you roll that number or lower, you inflict a 2nd hit on the enemy forces. If an enemy moves into an area with your forces, you are the defender. You do not stop the hits made by the attacking forces, but you do inflict hits on the attacking enemy forces by rolling the defense numbers or lower for each defending force in the area. 1 hit will flip a full strength force to its reduced side, or destroy a reduced strength force and remove it from the map. So an example of a battle without using any battle plans, which we'll get to in a minute, would look like this. If the 21st Panzer and Savona in Berat attack the forces in El Gilia, they would move into El Gilia during the battle moves phase of the sequence of play. When it is time to resolve battles, all the forces in the battle roll their attack or defense dice simultaneously. The 21st rolls a 4, inflicting 1 hit, and Savona rolls a 3, missing. The Allied Guards roll a 6, missing, and the 2nd Armored rolls a 3, inflicting 1 hit. Each side takes 1 hit of damage. You can choose to reduce either of your Axis forces. You reduce Savona to its reduced side. To inflict damage on the Allies, you would reduce the force with the lowest defense value, so you would reduce the Guards. Movement. Your maximum movement value shows the maximum number of areas that force can move each turn. After the first move, you must pay 1 supply point per area that you want a force to move into. You can choose any or all options found on your campaign map. If you win the campaign, you will gain or lose victory points based on the campaign options you selected. Fill out your player log. This log helps you remember selected options and victory point adjustments and lets you keep a record of your campaigns. Solitaire decision making. There will be times when you need to make a decision for the allies. The rules will give you choices, but if there's a situation with 2 equally valid options, you can choose whichever one you like. The sequence of play is divided into the Axis turn and the Allied turn. Follow the steps found on the sequence of play section of the map. Once a step is completed, it cannot be gone back to. Whenever there's a battle, follow the battle sequence. So here are the steps for your Axis turn. Advance the turn marker. When the counter moves off the track, the game ends. Refit. If you have forces that were damaged and flip to their reduced strength side, you can repair them for the cost of 2 supplies each. Just pay the supplies by removing the supply counters from your Axis supplies box and flip each refit force back to its full strength side. Battle moves. Your forces can move from area to area up to their maximum movement value. To move a force during this step, however, you must end the movement in an area with an enemy force. Your force's first movement is free. Then each additional movement costs 1 supply point. Move as many of your forces as you would like into areas with enemy forces. Once you have completed your battle move step, and all forces are either unmoved or have moved into an area with an enemy force, it is time to fight a battle. Resolve battles. Follow the battle sequence section to complete a battle. First, choose a battle you would like to resolve. You can choose to fight your battles in any order you would like. For each battle, determine the number of battle plans the Allies get. Follow the chart on the map. The number of battle plans they get is based on the number of Allied forces in the battle, whether those forces are full or reduced, and the Allies' current supply points. In this case, the Allies have more than 5 supplies, so they get +2 battle plans, and it costs them 2 of their supplies. Remove 2 supplies from their Allied supply box. The Allies get 4 battle plan counters. Draw their battle plans from their cup. You get to see their plans before you choose your own. You now select your own battle plans. Follow the chart on the map to determine how many free battle plan points you get. In this case, you have a full-strength German force gaining you 2 battle plan points. You also have a full-strength Italian force gaining you 1 battle plan point. You can also spend supply points to buy more battle plan points. 1 supply equals 1 battle plan point. After spending 1 supply point, you have 4 battle plan points to spend for this battle. Each Axis battle plan has a cost found in parentheses on the counter. Buy as many battle plans as you want or can afford. Battle resolution. All rolls are assumed to be simultaneous. The attackers roll their attack numbers and the defenders roll for their defense numbers. Also, each battle plan acts. So I am going to attack the Allies with the 21st Panzer and Savona. I start by rolling my anti-tank guns. I roll a 1, inflicting 1 hit. I also roll a 2 for my Panzer, inflicting 2 hits, and Savona rolls a 5, missing. The Allies' second armor rolls a 6, missing. Since it is their first miss result, they use their tactics battle plan to re-roll. Their second roll is a 3, inflicting 1 hit on the Axis, and I remove the tactics battle plan counter. The Guards roll a 1 for another hit. They also roll their air raid, rolling a 2 for another hit. Their disrupt battle plan roll is a 6 for no effect. At the end of the battle, the Axis has inflicted 3 hits, and the Allies have also inflicted 3 hits. I use my dig in battle plan to absorb 1 hit. For the second hit, I choose to reduce Savona, and Savona also takes the third hit and is removed from the map. When allocating hits to the Allies, I hit the force with the lowest defense values first. If there is more than 1 force with the same defense value, I can choose which force takes the hit. Also, I hit all full-strength Allied forces before destroying a reduced-strength force. With this in mind, the Guards take 1 hit, becoming reduced. Then the second Armored take a hit, becoming reduced. Finally, the Guards, having the lowest defense value, take the third hit and are destroyed. Just a note, if the Allied forces are attacking and they take hits, inflict the hits based on their lowest attacking values. Battles only last one round, unless there is a press battle plan in play. After the battle, if all the defenders have been destroyed, the attackers remain in the area. If there are any defenders remaining, the attackers must return to the areas they came from. Fortifications. When you are fighting battles in areas with a fortification symbol, all defending forces get +1 to their defense values. Upgrades are gained for destroying forces in battle. Whenever an allied force is destroyed in a battle, you gain an upgrade for an Axis force that fought in the battle. Choose the force you would like to upgrade and draw an upgrade counter from the cup, and attach it to that force. The upgrade adds to that force's attack, defense, and movement values. A normal force is upgraded to a veteran force, and a veteran force is upgraded to an elite force. You can choose to draw from the cup to upgrade a normal force, or flip any veteran force to its elite side. When upgrading allied forces, upgrade full-strength forces before upgrading reduced forces. If an upgraded force is destroyed, return the upgrade to the cup. When you refit an upgrade force, decrease its upgrade by 1 level. A veteran upgrade is returned to the cup, and an elite upgrade is reduced to veteran. Place any of your destroyed Axis forces off to the side. Move destroyed allied forces to the Axis resupply section. You can now move any forces that haven't moved yet. These forces must not enter an area with an enemy force. Pay supplies for any force moving more than one area. Supply check. Each map is divided into regions. Each region has a supply truck icon showing the maximum number of Axis forces that can occupy each area in that region. If you get to the supply check section of the sequence of play and have too many forces in an area, the forces in that area must take 1 hit for each force in excess of the limit. The Allied forces do not have a limit. Axis resupply. To find out the number of resupply points you gain, check the Axis resupply section of the map. Let's say that after a battle you have destroyed 2 Allied forces. In this case, you hold the Tripoli region, meaning there are no Allied forces in the entire region. This gains you 3 resupply points. You were also able to destroy 2 Allied forces this turn, which gain you 2 more resupply points for a total of 5 resupply points. Now you can spend your resupply points. Any points you do not spend are wasted. Spend points to gain more supplies. 1 resupply point will buy 2 supplies. Or purchase forces from your reinforcement pile by paying the cost of their attack value, not counting the superscript number, in resupply points. Or a combination. You can also pay 2 supply points to move a destroyed force into your reinforcement pile to purchase with resupply points now or later. Each resupply box specifies which areas you can bring in new forces. Some areas must first be held before you can bring reinforcements into the area. If a force is placed in an area with an enemy force, immediately resolve a battle. Continue fighting until only one side remains. The Allies now take their turn. Refit. If the Allies have any reduced forces, pay 2 of their supplies to flip each force back to its full strength side. Flip in order of attack value from highest to lowest until all their forces are at full strength or their supplies run out. Allied operations check. Each turn, draw 1 operation counter from the cup. If the counter indicates +1 or +2 forces, draw that number of forces from the Allied reinforcement cup and add those counters to the Allied operations area. If the counter shows an advance, it will increase the movement of the forces once the Allies get the go order. Leave the counter in the Allied operations area. If you draw the go counter, all the forces in the operations area are placed on the map according to the chart in the operations area. For example, I roll to place the Allied forces. I roll a 1, which means the first force is placed in Cairo. A 5 places a force in Fortress Tobruk. A 6 places a force in Alexandria. And finally, another 4 places the last force in Cairo. For each advance counter, immediately move the forces 1 or 2 areas toward the nearest Axis force using the normal advance rules. If the Allied operation forces end their movement with an Axis force, immediately resolve a battle using the normal battle rules. After the operation battles, reset the Allied operations area by placing the number of reinforcement forces indicated in the setup area into the operations area, and returning the operations counters into the cup. If there are not enough reinforcement forces, the Allies gain 2 supplies for each force they could not draw. Allied forces that have just completed an operation are now considered normal forces, and from now on will be affected by Allied orders, even if they just moved or fought in a battle. Allied orders. Roll a die for each region where the Allies have forces. Follow the chart for that region. If a force moves into a new region, that force does not move again this turn. Of course, if there is a set condition for a region, follow the orders given for that condition. Roll for the regions in any order you want. Move the forces in any order you want. Move all the forces once before moving them a second time. Resolve their battles as normal. The Axis are now the defenders. Allied resupply. Follow the chart on the Allied resupply section of the map to determine the forces and supplies they gain. Supplies go in their Allied supplies box, and forces are drawn from the reinforcement cup. The Allied resupply box will tell you where to place the new forces. If there are Axis forces in those areas, immediately resolve a battle until there is only one side left. This completes a full campaign turn. Start the next turn by sliding the turn counter 1 box to the right and continue with the sequence of play. Enjoy the game!